This is Wiggles. She had food and plenty of laps to sit on at her local animal shelter in Godfrey, Illinois. But for 11 years, the female pit bull mix was missing one thing: a family. At the age of 14 years old, she was finally adopted. Wiggles was lucky, for she stayed at a no-kill animal shelter. However, some shelters can put animals down after staying months, weeks, or even days. We must stop overcrowding in our animal shelters. And to do this, we must look to aid local shelters, such as the United County Humane Society. And there are several ways that we can do this. Personally, my family has never purchased an animal. Throughout the years, we have only ever adopted our pets. In fact, some of the best pets we ever had came from animal shelters. One of these pets had severe hip dysplasia, which was expensive to deal with, but we fell in love with the dog and provided her with a very loving home. With this speech, I want to address the problem within animal shelters, cover the benefits of adopting, and talk about how we can go about supporting our local animal shelters. And that said, let's move into my first point, addressing the problem. There are a couple components to this problem, the two biggest factors being overcrowding and the overall lack of adoptions. Now, overcrowding and overpopulation are kind of the same, and they both go hand in hand, so they will be under the same point. So, the main factor of overcrowding or overpopulation is the incessant breeding of animals, mainly cats and dogs. This is done in several ways. A common practice of this is through puppy mills, obviously dog specific. It is the practice of continuously breeding desirable dog breeds for profit. Some breeds are so sought after that this can turn into a large-scale operation. This in turn steers people away from adopting from shelters, as they are guaranteed what they want. The other factor that leads to overcrowding is the result of people not spaying or neutering their pets. This can be an expensive process, so some people will just let their animals reproduce, where their litters often end up at the shelters. This is why shelters recommend to fix your animals after adoption. The other component is the lack of adoptions. As mentioned previously, puppy mills have a role to play in the overall lack of adoptions from shelters. And the reality of it is people are just picky about adopting pets. For example, when going to an animal shelter, you might see a lot of pit bull mixes or cats of old age. That's because people are just not satisfied with these options. According to the ASPCA, approximately 6.5 million companion animals enter U.S. animal shelters nationwide each year. Of that 6.5 million, approximately 3.2 million animals are adopted each year. Unfortunately, there is also approximately 1.5 million animals that are euthanized each year. Now that we have covered the basis of the problem, let's look at some benefits of adopting from a shelter rather than a third party. Believe it or not, there are lots of reasons to adopt a pet. Here's a quote: "Don't walk away from an animal if you can help. Morticia was just an innocent little dog waiting for a home." This was said by Marilyn, a dog owner from Australia. I like this quote because it was simple, and it is the case for a lot of animals. A lot of them did nothing to deserve where they ended up. They just want to be loved by somebody. Here are a few benefits. Number 1, good for your health. Animals give unconditional love, but they have been shown to be psychologically, emotionally, and physically beneficial to their owners. It is a good remedy for loneliness, both for humans and for pets. The next 3 benefits were gathered directly from the humanesociety.org. 2, helps more than one. Overburdened shelters take in millions of stray, abused, and lost animals every year. And by adopting an animal, you're making room for others. Not only are you giving more animals a second chance, but the cost of your adoption goes directly towards helping those shelters better care for the animals that they take in. 3, because it'll cost you less. Usually when you adopt a pet, the cost of spay, neuter, first vaccinations, and even microchipping is included in the adoption price, which can save you some of the upfront costs of adding a new member to your family. Depending on the animal, you may also save on housebreaking and training expenses. Number 4, better for your home. Many of the pets from shelters are already house trained, which means you're not only saving a pet's life, you may be saving your carpet. Adopting a mature pet not only gives older animals a second chance, it often means introducing them to your family will be much easier. But like I said, those are just a few benefits. The list goes on. After talking about the problem and covering the benefits of adoption, how can we go about helping our local animal shelters? Besides the obvious option of adoption, animal shelters are in need of any help that they can get. For example, upon visiting the United County Humane Society website, you can help by doing any of the following. You can run a foster home for different cats or dogs. You can volunteer for animal care, cleaning, feeding, or dog walking. Or you could donate cleaning supplies, pet food, kitty litter, treats, toys, and so on. You can visit the website for the full list. They also have the Dog Ambassador program, which you volunteer by taking a dog out for a day of fun, go shopping at dog-friendly shops, get some ice cream, go for a hike, or have a fun day at the park. This program is available to anyone of the ages 18 or older. Their schedule for availability is pretty open, from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. throughout the week, besides on Sundays and Wednesdays. Otherwise, simply raise awareness is all they ask. So, in conclusion, animal shelters are often subject to overcrowding, which leads to euthanizing animals to clear up much needed space. By supporting local animal shelters, such as the United County Humane Society, we can further reduce the population within them. Today, I have talked about the severity of the problem, the benefits of adoption, and how you can help these organizations. Millions of pets are without a home in the United States each year. When considering getting a pet, please visit a local animal shelter first. In more cases than not, there is a pet waiting for you. Last time I went to an animal shelter, I absolutely fell in love with a cat. It has changed my life, and I know that I have changed hers as well. Thank you. And I also do have my citations.